It's the Jack and Nick Horror Show.
Hey, mister.
Mister.
Hey, buddy.
Howdy.
There's a good boy.
That's a good boy.
You're a good girl. Come on.
Who's a
Get
good?
up.
That's a good dog.
I don't know if they say that. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Jack and Nick Horror Show.
Pardon?
Or it might be a Red Dead Redemption 2 horror show podcast soon, because that's you know what happened the day after we recorded our last episode?
Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
And then we stopped being a podcast because we were busy playing video games for a month.
I've been sticking to the single player. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I hate the toxic people.
Yeah, the toxic people. I played online a little, and yeah, the toxic people were a pain in the ass. And then somehow me and my brother were playing online, and we got glitched into like our own lobby with just me and him, and it was like paradise. I can't wait until they put in invite-only lobbies. But yes, we've been playing cowboy games in the Old West on our PlayStation and Xbox, respectively. So I'm Nick. This is Jack. Pleased to meet your acquaintance again, because we came back. We like got a ton of episodes in between like the summer and October, and then we just like.
But then Thanksgiving happened.
Oh, Thanksgiving too, when I played Red Dead Redemption instead of being with family.
And I had Thanksgiving. My girlfriend made Thanksgiving meals here.
Did she?
For the family, yeah. So like, we had that.
That's cool.
That took up time. This isn't gonna matter when people listen to the show.
No, they won't care. So this is our holiday episode already, because it's December now.
It is December, and to celebrate the holidays, we're going to have movie of the week, which is The Predator.
Predator.
Which is one of the very first Shane Black movies that does not take place during Christmas. So we're going to make it a Christmas episode with The Predator by Shane Black. There you have it.
And, it is the Predator, not Predator. So if you were all object that Jack and Nick were going to review the original Predator, sorry, this is the new one.
Sorry.
Although we both love the original Predator, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll discuss those Predator movies when we talk about The Predator, which is Predator 4. It actually is a sequel to the other 3.
Right.
So there is that. And then we're going to talk about Christmas horror movies, our favorites and your favorites.
Oh, yeah, a few of them.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll talk about some shit we've seen, too.
It's possible. We'll see what
I've
happens.
only seen, like, 2 movies.
Oh, I've seen...
and there was more Joe Bob. That was a thing that happened on Thanksgiving.
That happened, too. Yeah, sorry, people. We were busy.
We had stuff to do.
We had things. All right. Let's get into The Predator.
Sure.
The Predator, 2018. Running time, 1 hour and 47 minutes, rated R. Directed by Shane Black, written by Shane Black and Fred Decker. Let's go over the plot real quick, and then we'll get into the cast. We have Goofballs versus the Predator. We have Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Thomas Jane, Sterling K. Brown, Alfie Allen, and a whole bunch of other people, including Jake Busey and... So, Nick, I know people that listen to the show know that you have seen The Predator, and you really enjoyed the shit out of The Predator.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I saw it like end of the summer when it came out, right? Like September-ish?
Right.
That was when it was in theaters, and it was pretty great. I enjoyed it. It wasn't no, I really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to like not like it, and I totally enjoyed it. Totally one of the best fun movies that came out this year. Like just a fun action horror, movie that knows what it is and wants to be what it is without being anything else, and totally enjoyed the crap out of it. I could talk more about it as soon as you tell me, what did you think?
Well, I know after you saw it, you said to me that the line you usually say and are usually wrong, which is?
I think you'll like it.
No. You're going to love this movie.
I did not say that. I never say that because I'm always wrong. Are you sure I said that?
I'm pretty sure you said that, dude.
I said I think you're going to love it.
No.
Because it had, like, elements that you're going to love. Sure, that's what I said.
I actually have a text from you. Hang on. Stay by. I know you're very excited about this, people.
Oh, right. Go through past 4 months of texts, including, like, a bunch from Red Dead Redemption last month. Okay.
So, basically...
Did you find it?
Yeah. I did. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
And I said, I may get The Predator on iTunes. It's $30 for all 4 movies, which is a fucking deal. And you said, you'll love it. That's your response.
Oh, yeah, you'll love it.
Okay.
But it was kind of like
that,
unenthusiastic. It wasn't that enthusiastic.
Okay, well, it fucking
anyway.
should have been, because you know how much I fucking love Shane Black.
Yeah.
And especially Fred Decker, because I love Night of the Creeps, and the two of them together created that movie. In a sense. I mean, the same with the Monster Squad, but, you know. Anyway. Yeah, I've loved The Predator. I loved every bleeping second of the movie. It's so much goddamn fun. And
oh my God.
Let me just put it to you this way. I'll clear up everything with the whole series. 2 and 3 are dog shit compared to The Predator. They're absolutely dog shit. Like,
absolutely.
I think they're serviceable. They're not bad movies. But they're
bad.
But they're bad. But they are. It's funny. So we rewatched. My girlfriend and I rewatched. Not the first Predator. First Predator is embedded in the back of my head. Like, I can just see the whole movie right now. Done. Mm-hmm. And it's like the perfect action horror movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was a trendsetter too, a pretty big one. Then you had, well, even though it copied Alien, I know, whatever. But then you had Predator 2, which, okay, like Danny Glover is the most awkward hero in the series. Like, he's like walking around like, oh man, I'm too old for this shit. I can't. And how does he defeat a Predator? And like, Maria Conchita Alonso and like Riven Blades don't do anything. But one thing I'll say about the entire series from number 1 to 4, and I'll get back into the Predator, is one thing that people don't mention, and you're hearing it here first. It's something that you really haven't noticed. But this cast is more diverse than any fucking series in the whole entire horror genre.
Oh yeah, you mean the cast of the whole franchise?
Every movie, yes. They don't just have. Yeah, they may have like the hero in the first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, who's it gonna be? You know, but you have the cast is like a mix of every race and color and creed, and it's awesome. It's a big camaraderie thing. Mm-hmm. Then 2 is just like Spanish and black leads, and then you have asshole Bill Paxton, white dude, loser. Martin Downey Jr., loser. Right? Yeah. But then 3, you got like Robert Rodriguez produced it, and then you have like Walton Goggins and Brody, and then
Lawrence Fishburne,
and Danny Trejo, and it's a good. But and then now, okay, so now the Predator, you start with this guy who I thought was going to be I was not like on board with the main dude at first, but then as it progressed, I was like, this guy's pretty cool. He's charismatic. I like him. But
I agree. Actually, I went through a similar thing. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens in The Predator? is...
Oh, so we're skipping ahead to talk about the movie.
Yeah, let me just talk about the movie real quick. So what happens is, in case you haven't seen the trailer or you're confused about the trailer, basically, main dude is an assassin, and an assassination attempt goes wrong, in a sense, because a Predator ship lands in the middle of the assassination attempt and wipes out his entire troop. And then
they're like special forces.
Yeah, he's the only person to see this alien that the government has captured and is trying to study and have been studying since 87, so that they can do stuff. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil the movie. So he is put into this like
mental health program.
Yeah.
I'm trying to lead you to not spoil it if you haven't noticed.
Right. And then
because they're like, "Oh, you saw an alien? You're crazy."
Yeah.
We don't want to get out, so you're crazy.
And then he's put in a bus with a bunch of loonies, and my God, the cast, man, fucking Michael Key is fucking perfect. Thomas Jane is perfect.
Oh yeah,
like
dude,
everybody in this movie.
I thought the trailers were like, oh man, the trailers sucked.
The trailers sucked. Dude, Sterling K. Brown is the coolest fucking bad guy in the history of the Predator movies. Mm-hmm. He is just fucking perfect. You know how you don't really root for the dickhead in a movie? In this one, you're not rooting for Sterling K. Brown, but you don't mind him when he talks because he's so deadpan and funny.
Oh yeah, it's a great script and like so like well delivered and acted upon.
Right.
Like, just I mean, like, I couldn't believe that I enjoyed this so much. It's funny, not like busting out laughing the whole time funny, but there's enough. The humor in it is not stupid, and I thought it was going to be stupid because the trailer makes it look like it's all like fart jokes and shit, but it's not. And it's a lot more clever than you would expect. They make all now. This is something that Shane Black is good at, even though I don't like Shane Black movies. But he's great at making well-rounded characters that are sympathetic, and you feel for like all the people in this movie, all their individual little stories and arcs. That like the minor characters in other movies. I was watching Doom the other day, randomly put on Doom. Oof. Right? It was on Netflix or some shit, and I'm like working, so I don't really want a movie on that's going to distract me. So I put on Doom, and Doom, like they have the same type of thing. Military guys who get put on a mission, and all the military guys are like cardboard cutouts of characters that are like heavily diluted and derived from Alien, essentially. Richard Brake, my favorite actor in the world, is in Doom, and he plays like a scuzzy Hawaiian shirt wearing, I just can't wait till this mission's over so I can go fuck some bitches at a hotel in the islands, It's like I could tell, like you're sent messages about who these characters are as soon as it starts, and that's it. They're their archetype until they are fodder for whatever demon eats them, Right. And that is how every like military action horror movie goes. They all try and ape what they think is the Predator's formula. I mean, the original Predator's formula of like bunch of military macho dudes get killed. They think that that's what it is, and it's not. Mm-hmm. And this movie realized, like in it, they realized what makes the original Predator good. Which is like having a great cast of memorable characters that like I love the cast, and like I've even long before we ever did podcasting or anything, I always loved, like I'm talking about when I was a kid, I loved the cast of Predator. Like I love Jesse Ventura in that movie.
Oh yeah.
I fucking think he's awesome. I wish that he was the star, but also I don't mind that the star is Arnold Schwarzenegger instead. It's just, man.
I mean, the real MVP of that movie is Hawkins, who's Shane Black.
Yeah, sure. gotta get that Shane Black thing.
I had to, because he made this fucking awesome movie called The Predator.
And dude, I feel like And I mean, on top of it, this movie definitely has some weird parts where it seems like they edited out side plots, or, like
But
sometimes
it doesn't matter.
no, it doesn't matter, because it's like what it has is like this finely tuned package with no bullshit, And I feel like maybe there was another 15 to 20 minutes where they explain where they got the getaway police car from, or how they stole a helicopter, But it doesn't matter, because it's like in an 80s movie, a lot of times stupid shit like that just wouldn't be explained.
Right.
Like, shit just happens, and it's like, why does it happen, and why are they not explaining things? Because the action is moving. Let's just keep going,
Yep.
And I totally thought that was great. Like, this movie moves, man. It's over, like, so fast that you're like, I could have watched more.
Yeah.
Like, and in that respect, it's like a perfect movie, because all you want from a movie is you sit down and you get entertained. And how many times do we sit down and we're like, that's a movie, I'll never watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times do you sit down and it's like, yes, this was a good time. This was money I spent in the theater thinking I was going to have a shitty time. I just went to the theater because, like, I hadn't been since, the fucking Avengers or something. And it's like, I got to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to go see The Predator in, like, September. And it was a totally awesome time. And I know not many people saw it in the theater. And I blame the trailer. I blame the commercial. And I blame the idiot word of mouth. Because explain to me, I saw people in my Twitter feed that were like, that was the worst movie ever, people said.
I
people
had the same shit.
Oh my God. And I'm talking horror people were like, that was the worst ever, man. That is garbage.
Somebody
and it's like,
I know that makes fucking like cheesy horror movies was like bitching about the movie and saying, complaining about the Tourette's thing and saying it's so fucking ham-fisted, and that there's a eat a pussy joke from him about a woman because, it's degrading towards women. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, people, you're not going to get laid by doing that. I'm just letting you know. It's not going to work. Okay?
You're not even allowed to say that anymore, Jack. That's the rules. They've made them. I didn't make them.
No, I know. But that's why they're saying this kind of shit. It's like, look, you're watching a movie about a bunch of guys, and Olivia Munn, who holds her fucking own against the entire cast, by the way.
Oh my God, yeah, and you think Olivia Munn, I mean, I am most familiar with her from G4. Obviously, if you had G4 back in the day, she was on Attack the Show, which was like the nightly video games and nerd shit show. And I used to watch it all the time. But when she started getting into acting, I was like, yeah, no thanks. Because she wasn't like that entertaining or charismatic or anything. And now that she's like, she was in like the X-Men, the shitty one. Not the shittiest one that you're thinking of.
Not the third
other
one.
Shitty one. No, the other shitty one, the sixth one. Apocalypse.
Oh, Apocalypse.
That was some shit burger.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Skip it. But she's in it, and she's not good in it. So I was like, oh God, Olivia Munn, this must be Drek. And it was not. And she was actually good in this movie. Listen to me. This movie's so good, even Olivia Munn was fucking good in it. Okay. So you should. If you're out there and you're a human being, you should see The Predator. I mean, it was gory. It was bloody.
It's nonstop.
Oh yeah.
Look, I'll put it to you this way. It's like you go to an amusement park where you're going on this ride, then you go to this ride, but there's hardly a line to get to the ride. That's what the movie is. It's really just continuous goofiness and fun and stupidity.
Right, we haven't even mentioned that, like, there's a kid in this movie, and it's like everything that I'm mentioning is like in another movie. This is another nail in the coffin.
Oh yeah, I hate kids in horror movies,
especially when it's like they don't need to be there, and it's just going to be like somehow the kid knocks over some tin cans, and Anakin Skywalker's his way into killing this guy.
But
what I mean?
But this kid's
Doesn't
awesome.
Happen. Yeah.
He's got Asperger's as a god.
That probably doesn't. That wasn't what I was going to mention.
No, but that's
know.
what they say. Like they say the bullies.
They do.
Yeah, they make fun of him about Asperger's and all.
Right, but even that, they're creating a sympathetic character for you.
Right, and the way they do it, the kid is like on point throughout the entire movie. And by the way, the movie takes place during Halloween. It's a fucking Halloween movie.
Yeah, for no reason.
And you actually get to see Halloween stuff happen in the movie too.
Oh yeah.
And it's really fucking great Halloween stuff that happens too, which I'm not going to spoil. Like, it just everything that you guys wanted is in this movie. So since it fucking bombed at the box office completely, like it made like $50 million less than its budget. I would suggest just fucking renting or purchasing the movie. Just like dabble in it, like just try to watch it and just buy that shit, because this is the kind of movie that people fucking strive to see. But then, like, when an exorcism movie comes out and it's rated R, horror people are like, "Oh, go support horror and see this Exorcist movie." It's like, no, we want the fucking Predator. That's what we want. Granted, I didn't go to the movie, so I sound like a fucking hypocrite. I didn't go to the movie theater to see it. Fuck you, suck my dick.
Liar.
My balls in your face and your mouth, but like, no, not my testicles. I'm talking about my Christmas balls. I have to put on.
My God.
But I was going to see this movie, but I'm not going to say why. Didn't get to see it. Unfortunately, I was going to see it like almost. It was almost like about, I think, the second weekend. And then
it was only out for 2 weekends.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. I thought it was going to be a big deal. Because everybody was making a big deal out of it. Like, when it was announced that Shane Black was doing it, and they were getting all this press, but then, like, the reshoots, they got to stop talking about reshoots. They should just, like, announce a movie and say, hey, this is coming out sometime in the near future. And that's it. That's the only fucking press you should have.
Yeah, because reshoot does not mean bad movie.
No. And people always get that, fucked up in their brain. They go, oh, well, this movie's going to suck. It's like, no. When you tell a story and a writer writes a story or whatever, the story's not always perfect. There's no such, well, I mean, there are, like Back to the Future or whatever. But, like, you have the perfect story in your brain, and then you give it to, like, 5 other people, and, like, one of them likes it, and the other 4 are like, this is dog shit. You got to fix this. You got to fix that. That's what happens in Hollywood, and unfortunately, there are people that pony up a lot of money that have a say in the final product. Sometimes they suck. A lot of times they suck. But, yeah, movies need to be worked on and changed for you to enjoy them. Because sometimes you can look at director's cuts of movies and go, oh, yeah, I see why they had to change that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, case in point, 40-Year-Old Virgin, not horror, I know. But I never saw it in a theater. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And everybody was like, this movie's one of the funniest fucking movies ever. Okay, so I got the DVD. The DVD was only unrated. And I watched it. And I was bored out of my mind going, how the fuck are people saying this boring fucking movie is one of the funniest things they've ever seen? It's terrible. It was terrible. And then I found out, no, you watched the unrated version, you asshole. It's like 30 minutes longer than the pieces. So I never saw the R-rated version of that movie. But I felt the same way about, like, Knocked Up and all that. Like, but that's totally different point. But the point I'm making is that sometimes it's better to edit yourself and change things for a better product.
That's what, like, really annoys me when people are like, but what about the Zack Snyder cut of the Batman versus Superman? It's not the real one. Or like, oh God, Joss Whedon had to do what Disney wanted him to make the Marvel movie that he made and that's why it's terrible. And it's like, maybe they just suck. Maybe they really needed the help, Hey,
Joss Whedon's made some shit. He's made some junk, and people forget that.
Avengers 2.
Yeah, he made Avengers 2, and I did watch that finally, and I wish I hadn't. I totally forgot about it. It just left my head right after you said it. I'm like, Avengers 2? Oh yeah. I did see that. It was almost like Like when you had Thanksgiving dinner and you had the stuffing, but it wasn't the best stuffing.
Oh God.
Anyway, okay, so I'm trying to not spoil this movie because there's so many things to spoil, and I don't want to.
Right.
But again, Keegan-Michael Key is fucking perfect in this movie. He is absolutely, him and Thomas Jane, I think, are the highlights. I mean, everybody is a highlight, actually. The entire team I love. I love all the loonies in it. But those two...
that's what they're called. It's not just Jack being...
No, that's their name.
Insensitive or something.
No.
That's what the characters are called.
Well, I mean, hey, they didn't use my hashtag about Billy's mother, so they're definitely not going to fucking complain about me until we get popular, which is never going to happen anyway, so who cares?
Oh, yeah. So...
Anyway, so yes, definitely fucking watch The Predator from our point of view. If you don't like it, like certain people that don't like awesome movies, I'm not naming
who you
it.
are.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Wait till we do the top 5 this year. You may be very, very pissed off.
Yeah, because dude, this movie, my top 5. Definitely.
I gotta say something real quick before we go to.
I'm not done talking about this movie.
Oh, okay, good. Because I just got to say, doing a top 5 for 2018 horror movies, it's going to be very fucking difficult.
Oh, absolutely.
And I didn't see all of them. But, I mean, there are a lot of good horror movies this year.
Yeah, I was just saying, I have not seen Suspiria yet.
Me neither. Yeah, that's exactly
that's supposed
the one.
to be pretty good. Even though I'm not a fan of the original, I mean, the more I see of the new one, I'm like this about every fucking horror movie, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to see it. And then it comes out, and I'm like, is it playing in a theater near me? Can I go today? You know, that's how I am.
Oh man, there's some movies I gotta talk about that actually came out this year that are very under the radar and need to be seen by people.
Yeah, like this one.
This one,
nobody
yes,
saw.
Nobody saw it.
You guys, you're missing out. Like, I don't even understand how this happened. Like, the Halloween movie comes out, and it's okay, you know, and it gets all this play and all this press and shit and everything, and then this came out and got like virtually none of it, but was actually better, in my opinion, and better at like I like this more than Halloween, yeah. So you can hate me for that, all of you, but I really don't know how no one saw it. It just blows my mind.
Dr. Brackett, would you like to meet a predator?
Oh man,
dude, I fucking love Sterling K. Brown so much in this movie. He's one of my favorite villains in a long time, dude. Like, whenever he makes a joke about it, anything that he says, he's like, it's like he's Burt Reynolds eating, what is it? Mylanta drops or whatever. He keeps on eating the Tums. He keeps eating Tums, but everything he says is like Burt Reynolds, man. I'm serious. He's like the Black Burt Reynolds in this movie. Really. He is. Think about it. He's just like, every line is just like, oh yeah, well how about this?
Oh my god, I choked a little.
How about we kill these predators? And I'm not saying the lines that he says. The lines that his delivery is perfect. Yeah, and even dude, the background of Michael Key's character and Thomas Jane, like their backstory is fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and there's a whole nother subplot with like the main character's wife and his son, and we're not even touching that shit. And it's all good.
It's all
None
good.
of it annoyed me.
Even the kid's good. Jake Busey is Gary Busey's kid in the movie. Like, his character's kid, Keys.
Oh yeah, tons of Easter eggs, and you know what? It not in that intrusive way
Right.
that bothered me in Halloween. Like in this movie, you wouldn't even notice the Easter eggs if you didn't know other Predator movies, and
Right.
you're not bombarded with it. Like they're little things, like they show. Like they collected some weapons from the aliens, and they're like, "Yeah, we found these," and it's like one of the things is from Alien vs Predator, you know. And I will, that actually reminds me of one thing, and this doesn't really spoil the ending, but because I'm going to tell you what the ending was not. But the end of the movie is a sequel set up where they're like, we finally found something that we can use to combat against the predators. And it's some sort of weird weapon that looks like an egg, and it opens up. And my wife was going nuts next to me. She's like, it's going to be an alien. It's going to be a xenomorph. It's going to be. And I was like, no, it's fucking not. We already had 2 of those movies, and they sucked. And it's not a xenomorph. Just to ruin the ending for everyone. Well, whatever it is. Now it could be anything in the world. It could be like a nutcracker. It could be, a laser that turns people into popcorn or whatever. But you don't know because I didn't actually spoil it. So it is something. But it's just a sequel tease. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it is, Jesus, I mean, like, it adds to Predator lore and respects Predator lore that's already there. It does so much good shit, and for so long, like the Predator stuff, the only thing that was ever good in the sequels was like, I don't know, some people like the comic books. I never read them. Some of the video games were decent. Alien versus Predator arcade is excellent. But it's, you got to play that one online. It's, that one you're not going to find in an arcade around here. And a few others. Man.
Now Disney owns it.
Really?
Yeah,
yeah. Because
20th
Fox,
Century
right?
Fox, yeah. Along with the Alien franchise. By the way, speaking of Alien franchise, I finally watched Covenant.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? I fucking liked it.
Me too. Yeah. You know what? I actually liked that one a little bit less after I watched it for a second time. But I enjoyed it,
it's an alien movie. Okay, here are the. God.
You don't got to do a rundown of it.
No. Here's the problem I have with fandom. You got the fans, just like the fucking Star Wars shit. You have fans that go, and we'll talk about aliens. They go, Prometheus, I thought it was going to be a fucking prequel to Alien. This is fucking bullshit. What's up with all these white fucking faced weirdos and blah 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 blah. And then Ridley Scott's like, well, fuck, now I gotta make an Alien prequel because I want to go somewhere different with it. Okay, so let me force this fucking sequel upon you assholes and continue Prometheus, but turn it into an Alien fucking franchise. And he does that, and he goes, here you go, here's the fucking exactly what you wanted from Prometheus. This is exactly what you fucking wanted, and here it is. Exactly. And then they go, I don't like this. This is not like Prometheus. I don't like this. It's like, okay, what the F do you want, people? What do you want? That's why he's not going to make a third one. You know why? Because people fucking complain about everything. And it's getting to the point where, whatever.
Yeah,
listen to me, I'm complaining about complainers, but...
Dude, you know what's going to be huge complaints next year? I guarantee it. Fucking Avengers 4. There's nothing that they can possibly do to keep people happy.
No.
It will be goddamn people whining on the internet and that was stupid.
And I'm sure they're going to fucking complain about Captain Marvel. Why is it got to be a woman? Why do we have women as superheroes? It's stupid.
Where's Marvel? Yeah.
His name's Captain Marvin for real. It's not. My God.
Man,
I hate people.
I know it's becoming like unlivable on this fucking planet. Like, I don't know what to do anymore about these humans. And like, dude, Alien Covenant is a great example of one that people just tore the fuck down. And like, it was a fun movie. Yeah. You know, I think it was on my top 5 last year. In fact,
I thought it was fun, and it was like, it was dark. It was depressing. It's like. I
don't think it's perfect. And let me say that
it's got some flaws, but who gives a fuck? Like,
exactly.
That's what you expect Like, I expected this movie to suck dick.
Oh my god.
Because of everybody shitting on it, and I'm like, oh, well, guess what? It's fucking awesome, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy with it. The same thing happened with, the other movie, which we'll talk about when we got the top 5. Strangers Pray at Night, where people are like, oh my god, it's just so fucking stupid. It's just a bunch of people running around. And it's supposed to be stupid. That's the point.
Right.
Same with this movie. It's supposed to be stupid. And you know what's awesome about it? Like, the one thing I really did like is these guys are like, all tough guys and shit, but like, they get their asses kicked.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's none of this like, okay, I'm indestructible. That's what I liked about Predator too. Like, Schwarzenegger got his ass kicked, Jesse Ventura got his ass handed to him, and he's the toughest guy. It's like, man, God, I fucking love the original Predator so much too.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, we can't even do an episode on it because it would just be like gushing.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're gushing for this movie.
Yeah.
And this movie is 1/5 as good as that one. But I would say yes. This is the second. What?
I'm going to be bold and say this one is as much fun as the original Predator. Like, that's how much I enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed that much because dude, I got to see the Predator on opening night on a fucking Friday in a sold out fucking venue. Like,
what?
That with my brother. Like, in 87. Like, just imagine being in that setting in the middle of the theater watching that movie with like a fucking sold out crowd and how much fun that was.
I can't. I literally cannot comprehend it.
It was absolutely one of the best movie nights ever. And the funny thing is, like, my brother like loved Arnold at the time, and he bought like my brother wanted to be Arnold. He was, bodybuilding and all this kind of stuff, and got this got the magazine, and it had like a neon picture of Arnold in Predator. Like, it was all like purple and shit. And I'm
I
like,
know what you're talking.
Yeah.
I've probably seen the image. Mm-hmm. Because I think it was also the cover of the video game on the NES.
There you go. And then like Contra came out,
Dude,
Contra, that's exactly what Contra was.
Oh yeah.
Here's Predator in a video game form, but we can't say it is.
Right. Oh man. It also
I love how
I feel like we have to stop talking about Predator now, but I will say
how it mimics voices is, dude, it's so great. It still works.
I'd say it's the second best of the whole franchise, including Alien vs. Predator movies.
Easily.
Definitely.
Easily.
Like, like if anything, that's a greater disappointment to me, is that those movies suck. Because like, I feel like if they made a movie of Alien vs. Predator now, they'd be like, we really need to capitalize on this and make a big blockbuster out of it. Mm-hmm. Whereas like when it came out in like 2005, Alien vs. Predator was like, horror was on the back seat. Blockbusters were all like very family friendly. Yeah. Nicolas Cage adventure movies type. We're gonna get the treasure. That type of bullshit. Whereas now, like, they obviously, Hollywood realizes like nerd fandom can carry a movie to a box office success and beyond. And I think that if they made an Alien vs. Predator now, they'd do so with more care. But at the same time, I don't really care. This was perfect. So yeah, The Predator, 2018, high marks from Jack and Nick.
Very high. It's gonna be on my top 5.
People are gonna fucking hate us because this movie, we're gushing more for this than we did for Halloween, and everybody out there's like, but you didn't like Halloween as much. We spent like a half hour complaining about all the Easter eggs in Halloween and shit. This movie, we're like,
there were a lot of flaws in that, but I still enjoyed it. I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I really enjoyed it. If I had to grade it, I'd give it like a B+.
But dude, think about it. Think about how much praise, and it annoys me still because it was on Watch Mojo the other day. They did a top 10 horror movies of the year, right? And guess what was number 1? Take one guess. The year's not even over yet.
Halloween.
And I always get, it's not Halloween. Halloween was number 2. Number 4, actually, I think. Yeah, it was number 3, 2 or 3. So anyway, I always get
House
really
with a
annoyed.
clock in the walls.
No, but you're getting closer because it had walls and a house. But
Wreck-It Ralph.
okay,
2.
every year towards the end of the year, I get really annoyed at the top 10 horror list that I see because none of them match mine. But no, Watch Mojo's number 1 of the year, and number 2. I remember number 2 and 1. Yeah, so I think 3. All right, they're top 4 from WatchMojo.com. Now you don't have to go and watch their video. Mandy was number 4, which no, you're wrong. Number 3 was Halloween. Number 2 was A Quiet Place, and number 1 was Hereditary.
Of course it was.
And like,
not that they're bad movies.
No. Well, I really don't like A Quiet Place because of reasons.
Oh.
But
I liked it.
You podcasted with me. I liked it much less than you. But I don't hate it. But I didn't get out of that movie going, this was a fun time. This was something I want to podcast about immediately. And,
We're going to change. This is not going to be the Jack and Nick horror show after this. It's going to be the Jack and Nick Predator show from here on in.
Yeah, we got four or 5 more episodes, and it's all Predator
We're
movies.
going to have four or 5 more listeners, and that's about it.
Oh, that's generous.
Yeah.
So that's
Anyway.
us. That's
All
our.
right.
That's our. Wait, we got more because we got to
get into holiday spirit.
Yeah, holiday.
Holiday. Okay, I got to pay rates now. Ah, fuck.
Oh, Christ.
So, Nick, how would you like to do this? I have a top 3. You have a top 3. Do you want me to go through my top 3 and then you could go through your top 3, or do you want to do 3, 2, 1?
I don't know if I have a top 3. Do I? Yes, I do. We may have done this before. Also, we realize, but
Oh, who cares?
we wanted to talk about it again this year.
Because we know that everybody here that listens has dementia.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Yeah, you're going to hear this episode again next year, and you're going to think it's new again. So fuck you. Yeah, I got 3. I'll give them to you.
All right. So you want to do 3 first? Do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right. You go first.
This is a movie that came out a couple of years ago, and we actually reviewed on this podcast. Go look for our old episode of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie starring a not Santa. You know who he is? He's not Santa Claus from the South Pole. That's a deep wrestling reference for you kids out there who like wrestling.
Oh, I know.
You want another one? He's not the Christmas creature, otherwise known as Cain. There's another deep reference for wrestling fans.
I know.
So,
I know who it is.
okay, is it Krampus?
It's probably.
Yes, because that's who we did on this show a couple of years ago. And that movie's totally fun. One of the best holiday horror movies. I totally enjoy it. Again, a totally fun movie that I thought was going to be total crap. And I watched it, and I was like, yes, this is fun. Like, they make it like it's so hard to just make a movie be fun. Like, everything's always got to be either dreary or, like, something horrible. And it's like, no, it can also be really fun.
That movie is fun, but also depressing.
Yeah, a little.
It has an edge to it, but that's what makes it cool too.
It's a good story, and it's
is.
fun, and it's just goofy. I could watch that movie every year around Christmas time and be a happy boy.
That's a movie I don't mind Adam Scott in. That's a role he can play. He can't play lead funny guy. He's not funny.
No. I also like him in Step Brothers, where he's, the dickish other brother.
I still haven't seen Step Brothers.
It's not that great. People hype it up like it's the best movie ever. It's okay, but
they do that about Microwave Massacre, and it's not that good. Anyway.
No, it's really not that good.
No, it's Microwave Massacre is a fucking terrible movie.
I've seen it.
I like it, and I'll watch it, but it's absolutely terrible. It's like, it's fucking terrible. Number 3 for me. I mentioned this on before. It is A Christmas Tale. from 2005. I think we might have reviewed it.
Yeah, back on the old podcast, we reviewed that one. That's the Spanish movie, right?
Correct. Paco Plaza made, yes.
Paco Plaza.
Paco Plaza. That movie is set in 1985 before the 1980s became the hip thing to do.
Oh, yeah. It was Stranger Things before Stranger Things,
It
right?
really was, yes. And they made reference to Karate Kid and Goonies and all that kind of stuff. But they kind of did it under the cuff. They also have a lot of Lucio Fulci reference in there as well. And, yeah, it's about kids. There's a woman, escaped convict kind of bank robbery woman, and they capture her and put her in a hole in the woods, and she's stuck down there, and they get stuff from her, and then she escapes and starts to kill them off one by one. And it's really fucking cool and so much fun, and it's just like watching Stranger Things, except it's rated R and it's a slasher movie, and it's it actually has like one of the coolest set pieces in a club at an amusement park, in which Yes Sir, I Can Boogie is playing while the killer is walking around looking like a zombie holding a axe to kill the kids with. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely a cool movie. Yeah, like you said, like it's got like throwback elements, but like I would say like stuff like the way that the killer looks is more of a throwback to like silly made for cable stuff in a good way.
Kind of Tales from the Crypt first episode or first part with the killer Santa Claus, the escaped convict dressed as Santa Claus with an axe. It's
something like that.
Yeah, it's just like, it's really fucking good. Really good.
It's
movie.
a very specific aesthetic that you can only experience. I don't know if it's.
I think you can watch it on like Amazon, but you have to rent it or something like that. But I know it was part of a little box set of discs that I got where it was like 6 films to keep you awake or something like that. It was like a foreign horror set. It was really, really good movie. So,
okay.
Nick, 2.
Here's a movie that may be among your top 2. I'm going to say that it's Black Christmas, the original, not
Christmas.
the remake. The remake is one of the worst things I ever saw in the theater.
It's not the worst thing.
It's among the worst. I really, really didn't like it.
Watch it again. You might like
it. Was the
it's entertaining.
Whole position of worst movie I ever saw in the theater for several years. But
who gets that honor now?
Ooh, geez. I don't know.
Geez. Is that an R-rated movie?
No. I don't know. I literally don't know what the worst movie I've seen in theaters is. I couldn't tell you. But I will tell you, I really hated Black Christmas, the remake, but I really liked the original also because, good old John Saxon's in it playing a detective, which is like him playing a cop in a movie. I will always like. He's still alive. I always forget he's still alive.
He is.
And I recently discovered it online. I was like, John Saxon's still alive? And I do that once every 2 years. And I'm always more surprised than I was previously that he's still alive. So there's a tidbit. He's still alive.
Good.
It's still kicking ass, I assume. And I didn't even talk about Black Christmas. Black Christmas, of course, slasher, terrorizing sorority girls. That's actually the whole movie. And it's really great. It's directed by the same guy who directed A Christmas Story. So he can nail down the Christmas aspect of the movie.
As well as Porky's.
Right. And then he died in a car crash. Real sad.
Yeah, with his son.
Yeah. So he never grew to know how successful A Christmas Story would become 40 years later. You know what I mean?
If you ever wanted to know what Bob Clark looks like when you watch A Christmas Story, he's the guy that when the father's outside trying to position a lamp, he's the guy that walks up and he goes, "Hey, is that a lamp?" Number 2 for me is probably your number 1.
Okay, it probably is.
Gremlins.
Yes, of course. It's my number 1.
But it's interchangeable. My number 2 and number 1 are definitely interchangeable.
Mine too, really.
Because
For different reasons.
Yeah, it's like Gremlins is another movie I saw opening weekend with my family, my dad, my mom, and my brother. And dude, I'm never gonna forget that day as long as I live, because it kind of like changed my life at that
How
moment.
so?
And the same way that Ghostbusters did, where after I saw Ghostbusters, I said, I want to bust ghosts. No, after I saw Ghostbusters, I said, I want to make movies for a living. But that obviously doesn't happen because I'm a realist. So
Or a real unluckiest.
I'm real unlucky. No, I actually, we're not going into that. But Gremlins, the thing about Gremlins was the thing that I loved about it was puppetry and humor, and how I could think that how I felt bad for Gremlins when they died in the fucking movie theater. I felt bad for the villains, and that's where it changed me. I'm like, I actually feel bad for these little things.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved Gremlins so much that I can't even begin. I mean, it should be in my number 1. I understand that, but it usually is. So next year, if we do this again, forget about it. It'll be my number 1. It's everything. It's the perfect Christmas movie.
It really is. It is a perfect movie in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like from the way it's made, like just to the story being told, to the goofy shit that's happening, to the funny shit that's happening, to the horror shit that's happening.
Right.
It is a movie that like is completely, in my opinion, flawless. And I don't know if we've ever reviewed Gremlins either on this show or the old one. I think we did it on the old one, and it's a perfect movie. It is like. It's like Ghostbusters in that respect. Like, not to bring up Ghostbusters because you just brought it up, but it's like Ghostbusters in that respect, where it's like, yeah, that movie's actually perfect. Like, you can't come up with anything unless you're going to come up with some idiotic hot take for modern Twitter, where you're like, actually, it's problematic because the gremlins are like refugees who do not have a home state, and they are not accepted amongst the people in the town of Hill Valley. I don't know what town it is, but it is actually Hill Valley, which is weird. But it's not actually Hill Valley. Well, Hill Valley doesn't exist. It's the same movie set. Look at it. You'll see the clock tower and stuff from Back to the Future. If you didn't know, it's in that movie. It's just covered in snow, so it looks different. And it's got a great Christmas feel to it. It's got great characters that are like totally memorable, all of them, even the old lady at the bank who deserves to like be fed to pigs, but she gets fed to gremlins instead. Oh, spoiler for a 40-year-old movie. Now, you see, I have a different experience because I'm a little bit younger than you. So when Gremlins came out, I was a boy. And I was probably like my son's age. And when I first saw it, it scared me. But I loved Gizmo. And like we had like Gizmo toys around the house.
Pussy.
And we even had some Gremlins. I was like seriously 5 or 6.
Pussy. And no, I'm just kidding, dude.
No, even in my tree right now, I'm looking over my Christmas tree, which is now up, and there's a giant stuffed Gizmo right in the middle of the tree. He's not even an ornament. We just stick him in the tree. Like, I don't even understand why, but it's probably because of this movie. So yeah, Gremlins, perfect movie, fun. Like again, a fun movie. Like I'm harping on this because I feel like I have to, because there's not enough people pushing fun movies. If we could do anything, I just want to be a fun movie podcast sometimes. I just want to talk about movies that like you like and I like, and we watched and we went, yeah, even if we agree wholeheartedly. And like it's super boring to hear two people agree all the time, rather than like us arguing and being at each other's throat like, oh, I love this and you hate it, blah blah blah. But no, like I would rather just have fun with fucking movies. The world itself is too bleak and ruinous, and like it's aggravating and anxiety causing to just be on the internet and read all the bullshit all day, be it the news or the shit your friends say or anything. It's like too much, and you need escapism. I need escapism. And other podcasts, maybe they'll be the ones with the great political theater, but guess what? I want to just be the fun guys from now on. So we will have the Gremlins aesthetic for the rest of this podcast until we die.
We will be a couple of Gremlins.
All right. Don't feed us or we'll become bad.
And one thing that Gremlins definitely does that I love, and one thing I will quote, I am going to quote a tweet too, which you might agree with, is that it feels like a 50s movie.
Yeah.
But it is set in the 80s.
Yeah, it's one of those movies.
Like, it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, you go in and you're like, okay, I'm in Fantasyland. This is like a bullshit Fantasyland town.
Escapist.
Yeah, and it's all going to get ruined by these little fucking cute creatures. It's just... So, yeah, okay. So, I'm sure you're familiar with Ryan Turek, right? Or not really?
Ryan Turek?
Turek. He used to run Shock Till You Drop, and then now he works for Blumhouse. He's the reason that like Halloween came out, because he's in acquisitions. He's anyway. Somebody tweeted him a question, and they said, "Why is a bad '80s horror movie still better than a new bad horror movies?" And he said, "More heart, less nostalgia, less restraint." That's exactly what Gremlins is.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely has heart. It has the nostalgia, but it's not in your face. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, sure, they show It's a Wonderful Life at the end or whatever, and it's the same exact place that they shot It's a Wonderful. I get it. But like, the thing is that it feels like it takes place during the time in which it's set. It's not like, okay, and now here comes some 50s music, and definitely they didn't restrain in killing the old woman and like killing a guy in a mailbox and like pouring the fucking brake fluid on the cops' cars and shit, or killing the teacher and sticking a needle in his ass.
Sticking a gremlin in a blender.
In a microwave and exploding it. Like, they didn't give a shit. They did what they wanted because it's a fucking movie. So, the funny thing is that Steven Spielberg, the original script for Gremlins was really dark and really, like, violent. Like, the mother didn't live. When Billy came home, her head was rolling down the steps. The thing that Steven Spielberg said, and he's always right, when they were going to make the movie, Gizmo was supposed to turn into a gremlin.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be Stripe. And Spielberg said, no, that little thing is going to be the hero of the movie and be with Billy the entire movie because kids are going to love Gizmo.
Yeah.
And he's right. Because that would have sucked if Gizmo turned into a Stripe. That would have been absolutely terrible. So, anyway. My number one, by the way, is Black Christmas.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
You can't play coy with me.
Dude, it's so goddamn... That's the perfect slasher movie.
Oh, yeah. I would say so. Another perfect movie. Even though I may like Gremlins more, but it's kind of interchangeable depending on what type of mood I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad to see we agree 100% on yet another couple of movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's totally, it's everything. It's got like the stalker shit, and it's got just good people getting killed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want.
It's got a great open ending too, where maybe somebody died. Who knows? And it doesn't tell you who the killer is. That's for you to figure out, which I really enjoyed too. That's if you want to see how to make a tense horror movie, watch Black Christmas. And it has some funny moments in it too. It's not like a boring movie. And Margot Kidder is fucking great. The movie's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that's my number one. I want to get to the listeners' picks because we care about our listeners because our listeners are our friends because we don't have many friends.
No, we really don't.
Okay. I will say Angela S. I didn't say Angela S. I said Angela S. Sorry. She said, Gremlins will always hold a special place. Last year I watched Better Watch Out and was actually pretty impressed. Yeah, Gremlins, we agree with you, Angela. Better Watch Out, I saw that and yeah. I was pretty impressed with that too. Nick, I mentioned that to you earlier this week. And I did mention it last year. I watched it last year, and it's definitely not the movie you think it is.
Yeah, that we were going to do that for the show.
We were going to, yeah, but we didn't because the Predator is like it's the tits. It's a great. Steve said, "I know Nick doesn't like it, but it's still rare exports. Sorry."
Oh, God.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with him. Like,
yeah.
Rare Exports was a decent movie, but to call it like you're you're and you have every right to say no because you didn't like it, but it's for me it's not my favorite. The last time I watched Rare Exports, Nick,
the time we watched it for
watched it for the old show, I lent it to some person who I don't speak with ever again, and never will. And I don't want it back. Sorry. And that's the end of that. So, Brandon. I'm gonna say your full names from now on, people. Fuck you.
No. Him you can say.
I will. I'll say.
We always have said it full.
No, we haven't. All right,
yes,
so first Angela, because there could be another Angela S out there. So Angela Gilbert Strickland. There you go.
Danger Darling. We always say his name.
Stephen Elbridge.
No, you don't say his name full.
Oh,
I'm saying the one that we always say.
I said his name is Elbridge.
You really did say it wrong, which is kind of weird.
I said it wrong on purpose, asshole.
All right, fine.
Okay. Brandon Danger Daring Daring. Black Christmas is probably my number one, but I'll always have a soft spot for Silent Night, Deadly Night. The thing about Silent Night, Deadly Night is I really enjoy it. I will watch it all the time, but god damn, it's a depressing movie. It is depressing as shit. It's a sad movie. Yeah, it's fucking very fucking dingy and dirty and grimy, but it's fucking depressing. Watch it again with that mindset. Do you understand what I'm saying? Gremlins, hands down, said Misty H. Apkins. Gremlins, hands down. I am planning on watching Rare Exports this year, though. Randomly found it in a used media store.
Oh, man, maybe it's your actual copy.
It could be. Misty, if you live anywhere near Northampton, let me know.
Does it smell like pine nuts?
Does it smell like asshole?
So
I don't know what. I mean, everybody's asshole must. I'm not. We're not going to.
I don't know why I said pine nuts. I think it's because there's pesto in the kitchen. I'm Italian.
Anyway, Ben Christmas says that's cool that he's.
Oh, that's what you should have done was made them all Christmas sounding names.
Oh, I can do that. Hang on. We got more. Hang on. I have to take a drink.
Oh, my God. All right, I'll read this one because I'm finally on Facebook. He likes Gremlins, Krampus, and Black Christmas. Well, those are good. Wait a minute. Black Christmas 06?
06, your favorite movie.
GTFO!
Dude, I'm telling you, watch it again. You might enjoy it. For real.
No.
Yes.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Watch it.
No, I can't.
Fucking do it.
I can't enjoy. No.
You know how, like, you watch Doom in the background?
Oh, yeah.
You should do that with Black Christmas.
Is Black Christmas 06 streaming anywhere where I can see it?
And
it can go fuck itself.
Maybe I'll fuck it.
What?
Yeah. Cole, Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
No, Cole itself is a Christmas name, kind of.
That's why
You didn't even have to embellish.
That's why I said Rudolph to be funny, Dick. Anyway, Krampus surprised me. I was vacationing in Key West and looking for something to kill some time until the weather allowed us to get back fishing, and my buddies and I had a great time with this flick. It's now a Christmas classic in my home.
Very good. Nice
Cole.
humble brag.
Cole. You don't get coal in your stocking.
Yeah. If only he was good,
Never
he
heard
would
that
have been
one.
named Presents. Anyway, next.
And his middle name would be Four. Desmond Quistmas
Christmas.
says,
Sounds like a disease.
I
Say it like that.
really enjoyed Krampus, especially because I was expecting little when I watched it. That's true. I was too, and I enjoyed it. Also, Santa's Sleigh is a truly terrible movie, but the opening scene is worth watching just to see Goldberg fucking everyone up. You still have yet to watch Santa's Sleigh, right?
Oh.
Okay.
I feel like I saw it once.
Bennett,
Did I?
Bennett said, Bennett, are you going to be coming over for Christmas? Says Desmond. Hey, Desmond, Santa's Sleigh is a perennial favorite of mine. So bad, but it's so good. Yeah, Santa's Sleigh, man. If you've seen it, you would know it because it opens with James Caan and Chris Kattan and Fran Drescher and like all these famous people who all get killed by the evil Santa Claus, Goldberg. Mm-hmm. So, all right, this guy I can say his last.
Yeah, I don't watch
name.
movies with wrestlers, even though I love wrestling.
Yeah, and video games too. You don't like playing video
Oh yeah,
games?
video game movies I tend to skip, even though I love video games. Like seeing Doom 13 years after it came out.
Well, Sean Kelly,
Ah, good old Sean.
because we could say his last name. So
Yeah,
Sean,
he's written in enough that he gets the last name treatment.
he gets his own segment of 8 minutes for Sean Kelly.
Yeah, once that happened.
Sean Kelly, no, thrice. Sean Kelly Christmas says, Black Christmas is great. To be honest, I might enjoy watching it more than Halloween at this point. I've
too.
seen it with an audience several times and it plays so well. That lucky son of a bitch gets to see that motherfucker at
Yeah, right.
New Beverly, the newly
Wow.
renovated New Beverly. By the way, Black Christmas is playing at Yonkers Draft House with Joe Bob Briggs this year. I think it's this Saturday. You might want to get on that. Anyway, have you guys? Huh?
Anyway, continue.
Well, I mean, you can get on a fucking train. Have you guys seen A Christmas Tale? Yes. It's part of the Spanish 6 films to keep you awake. So, yeah. See, Sean Kelly and I, one thing I was telling Nick before the show, Sean Kelly and I would probably be best friends if I still lived in California. Just letting you, putting that out there. Because the guy agrees with almost every single movie I like. And he's a cool dude, so. Anyway. Casey. Tootie cakes for Christmas cookies.
That took a little while.
So
And then it
that's a
happened.
hard to pronounce last name. Silent Night, Deadly Night always holds the top spot for me. The Grandpa is golden. Yeah, the Grandpa that is fucking goofy. I'm trying to think. I think it's there was a witch movie that Grandpa was in, and I can't remember the goddamn name of it. But the witch actually took a lot of stuff from it. Anyway, Nick, what do you think about Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original?
It's all right. Okay. I mean, I'm not like. I don't really. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like a movie, you know? Not my favorite.
I like 2 more because 2 is basically highlights of 1.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's the greatest hits
Actually,
of 1.
may agree with you because it's so terrible.
But the end of 2 is the best part because it everything you want it to happen in 1 happens in 2. If you know what I mean.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Birthday.
Joshua Mac Christmas. It's so many people. Are these all related? They all have like a Christmas last name.
We actually got a great, little turnout here, so
Yeah, we did.
I'm appreciative of this. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
me too. Yes, I'm fair.
Continue making fun of everyone.
Now they're not going to listen ever again. Gremlins and Silent Night, Deadly Night. However, I really enjoy Krampus and Better Watch Out as well. They are all must-watch films. Okay, so we have Gremlins. We've discussed. Yes, we agree. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I like it. It's just I gotta be in a fucking mood for it. Krampus, yep, and Better Watch Out. Again, it's not the movie you think it is, and I think that movie is very dark. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. Oh my God, Nick, trust me. The stupid one with Bill Goldberg is actually kind of funny. Oh, it said Mike Merryman to Mantle. Mary Mantle.
Yeah. No, his
Mantle,
name is Merryman.
Murray Man Christmas. So
There you go.
Stupid
Something
one,
like that.
The stupid one with Bill Goldberg is actually kind of funny for the first act. Silent Night, Deadly Night is probably my go-to. A lot of Silent Night, Deadly Night love, and I can understand it. It is.
Well, there's not many horror Christmas movies, so getting into the top 10 is kind of easy.
You know what is? Inside.
Inside takes place on Christmas Eve, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes, it does. As well as Night Train Murders, where somebody gets a knife in their vagina. So, I could have said Night Train Murders because I really like Night Train Murders, but it's a dirty fucking movie.
You see, but I think when you're pulling Inside in, you're doing the Die Hard thing that I can't stand anymore.
Exactly.
Because
but
I don't know if you people follow us on Twitter, but we were having a conversation about this. Basically, and I'll complain about this anywhere. If you need someone to be on a soapbox about this, it's me. I don't even care about the debate surrounding Die Hard being a Christmas movie anymore, because it used to be, when we first started saying it, me and Jack and people like us 10, 15 years ago, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Ha ha ha. It's a joke. Now, Die Hard is a Christmas movie is like a political platform that you must take a side on Twitter in the ever-growing culture war. You have to have a position on it, and your position must be strong, and you must argue it forthright. You can't just say anymore, ha ha ha, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Someone will punch you because they disagree. And then somebody else will run in with a chair and defend you. It's stupid. It's stupid. The internet has taken something fun and fucking ruined it. It was a joke, guys. It's a joke.
Yep.
You kids can't take the memes this seriously. Jesus.
It drives me up a wall too. Yeah. It's that and the I'm not going into it. I'm gonna go on a tirade. However,
it's over. The show's over, right?
Almost.
Oh, okay.
One thing I do want to say is that there's a movie that Hulu released called The Body, which is part of this series where they're supposed to be doing a I don't see one for Christmas yet, but it's a Into the Dark series, which Blumhouse is making or producing these movies, and they're independent movies, and then Hulu is releasing them on their channel. And the first one was called The Body. Oh my God, The Body is great. There's another one called Flesh and Blood. Avoid it. It's a Thanksgiving one, but the Body takes place during Halloween, and it's about a assassin that kills a dude, wraps him up in plastic, and is walking around like Patrick Bateman during Halloween, and people think he's in costume.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say that it gets very funny, but also very violent and fun. It's a fun movie.
That sounds good.
It is. It's really good. I was way impressed with it. I watched Flesh and Blood first, which I shouldn't have, but then I was like, I'll give this Body movie a shot. And then I was like, wow, this is really good. So I got that recommendation, which I'll put in the notes, hopefully. Uh, but Nick,
Hmm.
there's something I have to mention.
Is it another movie you saw?
Yeah, but it's not horror. It's called Brawl. It's Cell Block 99. And you have to watch it. You son of a
What?
bitch.
I know. Brawl at Cell Block 70. Wait,
99.
what is it?
99.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm waiting.
Okay. And there's a reason I'm asking you this question. What what kind of movie do you think it is?
A violent action exploitation movie?
It's exactly that, except it's even crazier. Where, okay, I'm just going to say that your least favorite actress is in it, what you call Tree Branch Face.
Oh, God, she is?
Right. However,
Jennifer Carpenter.
Udo Kier is also in it.
Oh, man, they're killing me.
And Udo Kier, and Don Johnson, by the way. But Udo Kier is the doctor that is going to perform a certain something on her while she's pregnant if Vince Vaughn doesn't do what the bad people want.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. That's one little thing. But the violence in this is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Some of it is so bad on purpose. But if you ever want to see a guy get his face dragged across
Don't ruin it.
something,
Something.
it's so much. It's so good. After you watch it, you'll probably be like, okay, that was good. It was long, and it was violent, and it was weird. Okay, and then I think I'd say about a month or two later, it's going to hit you, and you're going to go, that movie is fucking brilliant. I want to watch it again and again. That's the kind of movie it is. So I want to mention that. Nick, speaking of Joe Bob, you watched the Dinners of Death. Did you watch all of it?
No, I still have to get through two of the movies, I think.
Did you watch the... You did watch Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Did you watch That's Not Cranberry Sauce?
Yes.
What did you think?
Oh, that was fun. That was super dumb.
Oh.
But totally watchable.
Blood Rage is a perennial favorite in this household. Every Thanksgiving I watch it. Mm-hmm. And, oh man, I love that fucking movie. And it's funny that the best part of it is, the Joe Bob thing is that he sounded exactly like you, where he was going off on the movie, where he's like, everybody wants to, they love, this 80s slasher movie, but it's terrible. It's a terrible movie. And, let's release this, and, it's the greatest movie ever. And
oh, yeah, everything that comes out on Arrow Video is just automatically perfect.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow.
And a forgotten gem. And he's like,
a forgotten gem,
but if they were actually good, wouldn't they have been remade already in different ways? Like, wouldn't people be seeing this movie some other way?
Oh, I loved it. But, as the movie progresses and as he talks about it, you can tell that he really liked the movie.
Yeah.
It is a fun movie. And
it's fun, goofy shit.
Oh
so
my gosh.
that's cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, I guess we're done.
Finally.
Yeah.
I saw Cam. That's not.
I was going to mention that too, Cam. What did you think of Cam?
I thought it was all right.
I really enjoyed it. Dude, that girl has such balls to play that role. And she's good.
Yeah.
I know a lot about this subject because an ex-roommate of mine was that.
A Cam girl?
A Cam girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it was you know what? It's better than like 90% of the stuff that just pops up on Netflix.
Oh yeah. Dude, I really enjoyed it though. I think it was really, really cool. The cool thing about it is the creators of the movie, Boyfriend and Girlfriend, she's actually a Cam girl and he's the director.
Yeah.
That's
And
really cool.
he had to cam for a week or something to be allowed to make the movie, like so that he knew what he was doing or something.
I thought it, dude. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, the end, I was very confused, sort of, but I kind of got. But I mean, it's I just couldn't stop watching it. It's fun. It's a good movie.
Right.
Check it out.
Yeah, it was definitely worth watching, I would say. Not like great, like I want to own it on Blu-ray, but like worth watching.
I wish they would release The Babysitter on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that one was
That was
particularly fun.
fucking great. That's kind of what Better Watch Out is like, except it's way different. It's dirty. It's so mean. Such a mean movie. All right. So, we're going to finish the show. Next episode shall be our year-end wrap-up, so we'll be probably releasing that in March. And,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even laughing because it's probably true.
I am going to be off around the holidays and stuff. Not all the holidays, but anyway. So, yeah. All right. Thank you for listening to our wonderful, wonderful show. It's called the Jack and Nick Horror Show. You can find us on Twitter at Jack and Nick Show. Is that what it is?
You mean this show? Yeah.
No. You can find Nick at New Jersey Nick on Twitter, and you can
That's
find
me.
me at Jacob K666 on Twitter. If you tweet at me, I'll tweet back. I do use the Twitter, but I don't use the Twitter all the time and like use the stream of consciousness like you're supposed to, because my stream of consciousness would terrify people.
You'd get reported.
I'd get reported. It would be fucking... No, I'm just kidding. It would be like I would be probably in about 5 crashes because I'd be driving almost all the time. So, and I can't even speak, so I'm getting tired. Good night.
Yeah. All right. This was fun. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of my Jewish friends. And what?
Happy Hanukkah.
No, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays.
It is actually Hanukkah.
It is. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy everything. I love everybody. Doesn't matter to me. You can love whatever you want. If you're Christian, cool. Go for it. Whatever. All right. Love your body, Larry.
Good night.